Positive word of mouth about Marvel's upcoming Echo TV series is reverberating all over social media, thanks to an intense first trailer fans can't get enough of. But how does Echo fit into the MCU? Phases 4 and 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been full of big risks and huge swings. From the sitcom antics of WandaVision to the quantum escapades of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. While these projects have seen mixed reactions from critics, one thing Marvel fans are eager for is a movie or series that surprises them. Though it may not be the most highly anticipated Marvel miniseries in the past few years, Echo might be the one to pull back skeptical audience members. Echo centers on Maya Lopez, the deaf Tracksuit Mafia leader, played by Alaqua Cox, who first appeared in 2021's Hawkeye series on Disney+. It's revealed in the show's finale that Lopez is also the surrogate daughter of Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, in a reprisal of his role from the Netflix Daredevil series. Cox and D'Onofrio return in Echo, coming January 2024 to Disney Plus and Hulu, which will also feature Charlie Cox returning to the mantle of Daredevil after appearances in Spider-Man No Way Home and She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Based on the first teasers for Echo, the show looks to be the most brutal and action-packed series the MCU has had to offer so far, garnering a TVMA rating.
Who's the monster?
If you're interested in checking this series out but don't want to watch over 120 hours of Marvel content released since Iron Man, here's the basic rundown of what you'll need to know to head into Maya Lopez's solo adventure. In the third episode of Hawkeye, titled Echoes, Maya Lopez's backstory is revealed. Despite being a deaf child, Maya attended a regular school in 2007, where she adapted to the environment by learning to read lips. Although she faces discrimination from her teacher, she excels in her studies anyway. At home, it's revealed that Maya is the daughter of William Lopez, leader of the Tracksuit Mafia in New York City. Maya asks her father why she's not going to a school for hearing-impaired children, and her father responds by telling her that, though they can't afford to send her to a deaf school, Maya will be stronger for having to adapt to her deafness and jump between worlds. Later on, William enrolls his daughter in karate classes, which is where Maya learns to fight and befriends Kazi, who later becomes her closest confidant in the Tracksuit Mafia. Here, she learns from her father the strategies for facing opponents who are much bigger than her.
Remember, for your match, it's more about speed than size.
It was around the same time as Maya's struggles in school that she became acquainted with a very important figure in the street-level goings-on of the Marvel Universe. In a deleted scene from Hawkeye, it's confirmed that Maya is picked up from karate class by Wilson Fisk. Although Marvel fans know Fisk as the ruthless antagonist to heroes like Daredevil and Spider-Man, to Maya he was a kind uncle figure who offers to take her for ice cream. As it turns out, Fisk was business partners with William Lopez and became a leader of the Tracksuit Mafia in New York City, prior to the antagonist's appearances in the Netflix Daredevil series. Fisk also carried out other criminal activities, such as being a loan shark to figures like Derek Bishop, the father of Kate Bishop. But Derek's death in the Battle of New York resulted in Kate's mother, Eleanor, having to work for Fisk to pay off her late husband's debt. Maya's growing up with Fisk as a close figure will also play a major role in Echo, as indicated by the first trailer for the series, which showcases a scene where Maya is rudely discriminated against for her deafness by a New York City street vendor. In retaliation, Fisk drags the street vendor into an alley and beats him to a bloody pulp, which Maya unfortunately witnesses.
I see everything that you are.
Echo will also feature an appearance from Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, the blind New York City lawyer who moonlights as the vigilante Daredevil. As revealed in the Netflix Daredevil series, Murdock was blinded as a child due to a chemical truck accident, later learning how to defend himself thanks to a blind martial artist he befriends named Stick. Later, Murdock meets fellow law student Foggy Nelson at Columbia University, and the two enter into a legal practice together. But as Murdock begins to view the law as not enough to protect the people of New York City, he begins wearing a mask and becomes a vigilante crime fighter. Murdock's vigilantism eventually attracts the attention of Wilson Fisk, and the two become adversaries as Murdock seeks vengeance against Fisk for his numerous criminal enterprises. Murdock eventually adopts the superhero moniker Daredevil, complete with a maroon outfit, and defeats Wilson Fisk in combat, turning him into the NYPD. The Marvel Cinematic Universe changed for good with 2018's Avengers: Infinity War. Thanos' genocide, or the Snap as it would be later referred to, resulted in massive changes all across the universe, especially on Earth. Those changes are explored in many of the MCU projects post-Avengers Endgame. The Snap particularly leads to an increase in organized crime, including Wilson Fisk's Tracksuit Mafia in New York City and underground Yakuza in Tokyo. As a survivor of the Snap, Fisk continues to reign as a criminal overlord in New York City and returns to nearly the level he was at before Matt Murdock began his crime-fighting career as Daredevil. This eventually leads to Wilson Fisk's involvement in the Hawkeye series on Disney+, as well as a major moment in Maya Lopez's origin story. After Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, loses his entire family to the Snap, he sets out on a revenge quest to take down crime syndicates that had survived, believing them to be less deserving of life than his own family. Barton adopts a new superhero moniker, Ronin, and begins wearing a masked ninja outfit and wielding dual katanas, though his activity taking down the Mexican cartel eventually garners the attention of the Avengers. In Avengers Endgame, Barton's string of massacres is stopped when Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, recruits him to help the Avengers travel through time, collect the 6 Infinity Stones, and potentially reverse the Snap. Barton fails to stop Romanoff from sacrificing herself to retrieve the Soul Stone, which becomes a major narrative point in Hawkeye, though in that series, Barton also sees his activity as Ronin come back to haunt him. As revealed in Hawkeye, Barton, as Ronin, took vengeance on the Tracksuit Mafia in New York City, mercilessly slaughtering them all. Maya Lopez eventually walked in on the massacre just as Ronin was leaving and held her father William Lopez as he died of his wounds. With William gone, Kingpin assumed control of the Tracksuit Mafia while Maya became his top commander. Ronin becomes the Tracksuit Mafia's primary target following the massacre of William Lopez and his gang, though Clint Barton hangs up the costume upon rejoining the Avengers. That didn't stop the Ronin costume and its weapons from being sold on the black market, after which it was stolen by college student Kate Bishop, an admirer of Hawkeye secretly investigating her mother's fiancé, Jack Duquesne. Although Kate is unaware of her mother's involvement with the Tracksuit Mafia, she is hunted by their members after donning the Ronin outfit and fighting them. Alerted of potential Ronin activity, Barton tracks Kate down and steals the Ronin costume back, but the Tracksuit Mafia is still operating under the impression that Kate was the face behind the mask. Barton visits the Tracksuit Mafia to clear her name, although he and Kate end up captives of Maya Lopez and her right-hand man, Kazi. Unfortunately for Hawkeye, Maya doesn't buy his lie that Ronin was killed by Natasha Romanoff, forcing Barton and Bishop to escape. Maya and Kazi lose track of the Archer duo after they fire a Pym particle arrow at their truck, destroying it. However, this wouldn't be the last confrontation between the two during the Hawkeye series. After failing to catch Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, Maya Lopez faces internal conflict with Kazi, who feels she's too obsessed with catching the Ronin. However, since Maya had stolen a Rolex watch owned by Barton's wife Laura, which identified her as a SHIELD agent, it's up to Hawkeye himself to stop her by confronting his past. Donning the Ronin outfit, Barton confronts Maya at the Tracksuit Mafia's base of operations, knocking out Kazi so that he and Maya could face off one-on-one. Barton successfully gains the upper hand and disarms Maya before revealing the truth about his massacre of the Tracksuit Mafia.
You and I were the same.
Blinded by the rage of his family's death, Barton had accepted a tip from an informant who wanted William Lopez dead, and he reveals to Maya that the informant had been instructed to do so by Kingpin. Maya initially doesn't believe Barton, but fails to stop Kate Bishop from helping him escape. Against Maya's instincts, she begins to suspect both Kazi and Kingpin for their involvement in her father's murder. Maya requests some time off from Fisk to clear her head, but ends up heading to Rockefeller Plaza to intervene in the Tracksuit Mafia's fight with the Hawkeye duo. Lopez sadly kills Kazi, then later confronts Fisk in an alley after his encounter with Kate Bishop. As Fisk pleads with Maya for his life, she shoots him. Another big threat that could be coming Maya Lopez's way is the Department of Damage Control, introduced in Spider-Man: No Way Home, as a governmental entity responsible for cleaning up superheroes' messes.
Department of Damage Control. We have a warrant for the arrest of Peter Parker.
Led by Agent Cleary, the DODC attempts to prosecute Peter Parker when his identity as Spider-Man is revealed. However, Parker's legal troubles are solved by Matt Murdock, who also made his MCU film debut in No Way Home. The Department of Damage Control plays a major role in 2022's Disney Plus series, Ms. Marvel, which centers on a Jersey City-based teenager named Kamala Khan, who comes into possession of a magic bangle that gives her the ability to create matter out of light. A scene in the finale of Ms. Marvel shows a bulletin board at DODC HQ with photographs of individuals from the Disney Plus MCU shows on it, including Maya Lopez. It's hard to make out in the show itself, but official set photos confirm it. This potentially hints at the Department of Damage Control playing a role in the Echo series, since it's been confirmed that they're investigating Maya. Charlie Cox's appearance in Echo as Matt Murdock will likely be limited due to his involvement in his own show, Daredevil Born Again, as well as the character's other in-universe commitments, as seen in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. In the legal comedy starring Bruce Banner's cousin Jennifer Walters, Murdock showed up in Los Angeles to defend Luke Jacobson, a superhero costume designer, against Walters' client, an amateur superhero known as Leapfrog. Murdock and Walters later team up in their superhero personas to help chase down Leapfrog after he kidnaps Jacobson. Throughout the adventure, they bond over their shared struggle to balance their legal careers with the responsibilities of being a hero. That bonding ends up going pretty well by the end of the episode, with Murdock and Walters hooking up. Murdock later joins Walters in a family barbecue, indicating that their relationship may continue off-screen. With that in mind, it would make sense why Murdock might not be around Hell's Kitchen for long in the Echo series, as he may be spending time in Los Angeles with his new super girlfriend. As for rumors about other MCU TV characters making appearances in Echo, such as the Punisher and the Defenders, time will tell, but they're all connected to Murdock and Fisk in one way or another, so it just might happen.